Welcome back, everyone. Try something a little bit different and even a different saw. This is Stihl 361. Came in with a muffler mod. And we're going to have some fun with this one. We're going to try and make this one a little bit extra spicy. Kind of a fun get-together saw. And we're probably even going to make a header and try the tune pipe that we had for the Wild Thing, which was 470cc, on this saw. If it works, great. If not, we'll know. But first, we gotta get it tore down, get everything laid out, and see what kind of stuff we're working with. Now, I do have a new camera. I've got the lights, got the table. So let me know how this looks for you. I've also got these parts trays. Gonna try these out. Now, I do know 361s like this elbow opened up. Nice straight shot in, but we'll get that. We'll try that later. We'll end up opening this up just for a nice straight flow. I will say these Stihls are relatively easy to take apart, and we will be swapping on a larger carb too. Intake side's looking good. Everything's nice and clean for us. Pull the spark plug out. Now we can pull this cover off. We'll take this handle right off. Pull this recoil off real quick. Okay. Get the muffler out of the way. It's got one brace bolt up here. See how everything looks? Looking pretty good. Alright, I've got this hunk of mud flap we're going to do the teardowns on. We can pull this cylinder now. Shove the boot through. And we'll get it picked right up off of there. There we go. Everything's looking pretty good in there. Pretty good. You can see, nice coating of oil. That's what we like. Get this boot off of here. I'll be honest with you, this is the first time I've sat down taking a saw apart, so it's a little bit different. My plan is to box in this little area. I'll get some slat wall all around me. Be able to hang up my signs I got, shelves, saws, parts, cameras, whatever we need. That's my plan, so it won't be too long. Once I get caught up with stuff. Alright, got the boot off of there now. Get rid of this gasket, we don't need that. And we will pull the rings off. Alright, let me get the flashlight and we'll get this timed up. 0. Call that 149. Go to 74.5. Right there. We'll zero it. That's top dead center right there. Oh, this should say 74.5 on the intake. Let's see what we got for the exhaust. .102 on the exhaust. All right, we will check the transfers now. There. 131. There's a better look inside the cylinder. Quad uppers. Nice size intake. Decent size exhaust. And they're pretty much bottom fed. So that's what we're working with on this 361. Alright, so we got this dialed in. Top and bottom. Running true. Right there. Running good there. We'll pull this out of the way and we'll do our touch offs real quick. Touch off on the exhaust side here. Get it close. We'll use our piece of paper. Real close right there. Alright. Move our indicator up. Alright, moved our indicator up. We're just touching this piece of paper. So we'll call it 3 shy. Alright, go in. Back it off the wall about 20 thousandths or so. And we'll go all the way up. Touch off on the very top. Just gotta run it in real slow till you touch, gently. Alright, it should be real close there. Then I'll touch off this way. Get this indicator set. I'll fire it up and I'll touch this off while it's running, just to be sure. Alright, I'll double check, make sure we got it square all the way to the top. Now that last pass I overbored just a little bit so we don't leave a step. Let's see, good there, good there. Alright. Looks like we did what we were supposed to. We took 40 thousandths out of that band. I'll pull it off and I'll show you up a little closer. You can see we got the band all cut. Looks pretty nice in there. Not too shabby. Said, took 40 thousandths out of it. Overboard it just a little at the top. And now we'll get it all cleaned up. Check the squish. Alright, we got our squish band cut. We'll put down here and get a squish measurement. Some doubled up 32 thousandths solder. Grab a couple of the bolts. Couple bolts. Now with this, we'll get our squish clearance, cut the base, set the squish, and then we'll retime it. And this one's going to be kind of a half and half. He wants to be able to turn it up for some get-together type fun or some racing. And he still wants to be able to firewood with it just a bit. Well, this will be a fun one. Like I said, I got a pipe we're going to try on it. Rotate it back and forth until you don't feel the resistance of the solder anymore. Now, I had thought about swapping out the piston for a different one, but one I had in mind didn't quite work out, so we'll use the stock one. And that feels pretty good there. Alright, 44. 44. 44 on that side. See what we got on this side. 44. 44. 45. Alright. We'll get this cleaned up. We'll set up the base and we'll turn 20 thousandths off the base. That'll give us squish 24, 25 thousandths. So we'll set up and do that, then we'll come back and lay everything out. Alright, so we got this dialed in here. And we're going to take the 24 thousandths off the base. Move this out of the way. We'll do a touch off on the base here. Zero our indicator. And we'll go to town. Let me plug the lathe in. Do a light touch off. Do a little bit lighter one. Alright, do 10,000. Alrighty, we'll go deburr this and chamfer it, and we'll double check to make sure the squish is right. Just like so. Alright, we got the base cut now. Put a single piece of solder on. Alright, that's feeling about right, probably 25, 26. But just rock it back and forth until it gives you little to no resistance. That's pretty good there. That's pretty good right there. We'll pull it off and double check. $21. $21. So a little bit of a heavier touch off, but that'll work. I'm going to flip it around so I can see the wheel a little better. It's hard for you guys to read anyway, but we'll talk it over. Let's get this cleaned up good first though. Alright, so got the Squish 21 thousandths. Now we'll see where the ports landed. Double check it here. 78. So I was off a little bit. We'll zero it right there. Got 153. 76 and a half. So bring this up to 76 and a half. That's 105. Intake 76.5. And let's check the transfers. They're going to be way down. 136. That's way down. But with the larger carb, more duration, stock wasn't too bad, so hopefully that brings us right where we need to be. See if we can make this 361 run. So we're going to try anyway. Mark the transfers first at 120. Alright, so raising these transfers 16 degrees. That is a pile of raising. But we also need the open time, the open duration, to get the charge to the top. So all we can do is all we can do. And like I said, we'll probably end up having to go up higher with the exhaust just to get things moving like they need to. But we'll start 60 cc. It might still have enough oomph since we're trying to spin it up a little higher. We'll do that. We'll do 98 120. That's where we're going. I've decided. And if it doesn't work, we can always buy another cylinder. But I think that'll work for what we're shooting for here. We'll go up to 98. Right there. Now there is a ring pin on the lower ring here, but we won't be using that. We'll get rid of the lower ring. Centered on the intake side, which is good. So we don't have to worry about the lower ring. So we'll widen it. We'll leave about 50 thousandths or just over 1 millimeter on each side of the exhaust skirt. So leaving about 1 millimeter skirt on each side brings us right close to 65% bore width, which that's normally okay. I like to push 70 when I can, but 65 will get us close. Let me see if I can shine the light in here close up for you. Let's see. You can see those transfers are going up a mile. And the exhaust is going up a little bit too. We're not going to mess with the intake other than a little bit of widening. But we'll raise the transfers. And we'll raise the exhaust and widen it a bit. And see where that gets us. So I'll start grinding on this and I'll come back once it's done. Alright, here's the cylinder. We've got the band. We've got the Squish set 20 thousandths. We raised the uppers. Gave it a little bit more intake area. And we raised the exhaust. A little bit of assembly oil. Alright, get Get this boot tucked down in here. Okay. Cylinders all tightened down. Swapped out to a larger carb. Had to swap the shafts. Add an impulse hole. Everything else. That's why this throttle, that's why this handle covers off, so I can fish the throttle rod on. Fuel line goes in. Everything sits like it should. Snap this piece back on. There we go. Take our wheel off now. And we are going to go real quick, open this area up on this filter elbow, that way it can come down and straight in. So I'll be right back with that. Alright, so we got the elbow nice and opened up. Now we can finish putting together the carb side. Throw the recoil back on. I forgot the grommet over here for the carb screws and whatnot, so we gotta get that put on. Just need to tighten that decomp, put the muffler back on. Okay, decomp's in. Alright, this is the muffler that came on it. It still has the factory baffle inside, but we're gonna put it on, just see how it does right now. Still gotta work on the pipe for it. Alright, got the muffler on. This is just modified, still has factory cage and baffle in it. So we're going to try it for now, like that. So I still need to modify a pipe for it. Get that on there. Our spark plug tightened up. Alrighty, now we'll get it fueled up, see how it does. Like I said, I'm not going to use the air filter right now because we're going to test out, see how much power we can actually make with it. So let's see how it does. Play with the settings, see what we got. A little lean yet. Give it some more low. Give it a touch more high, just see where it's at. Idle seemed close. Alrighty, she's ready for the dyno. What kind of numbers do you think it'll make? Well, we'll get it bolted down and we'll find out. Alright, we got the pipe mounted on here and we're going to see what it does. Alright, here we have the results for the Sporty 361. Baseline down here, 6.04 horse. This came in with a muffler mod and a higher flow air filter. So that's why we got 6.04. I'd guess it around 5 1/4, 5 1/2 stock. This line here, after porting, put our sportier numbers in it, no filter, and still the same muffler mod. We made 8.08 horse, 4.24 foot-pounds. Then we added that pipe. Now that pipe's not ideal. We need to make a better flange and header piece for it. But it still churned out 9.08 horse and 5.09 foot-pounds. That's about a 50% jump from here. And we gained about 32-33% just from porting alone. So overall, I'm pretty happy with that. Now we will get some video of this one in the wood once the weather turns a little bit, and we may try and make some adjustments on this pipe. You can see the pipe's hitting way back here around 9,500, and the new ports want to hit around 10.5, 11, right in this range. So if we get these to stack up, we might even be able to get close to that 10 horse mark. But this was the first round. This is just a fun firewood get-together type saw. Put the filter on, leave that muffler mod, be right around this power. And if we take the filter off, put the pipe on, we can go play at some get-togethers and have some fun. Like I said, we got a few more rounds of testing with this one, but I just wanted to share this with everybody. What kind of gains we got out of the 361, trying to make it a little bit spicier. All right, thanks a lot, everyone.